What episode are we thinking of, fangirls and fanboys? 69, dudes! That's right, we're back for another thrilling week in the Fancave, so buckle up, because here it comes. Celebrities gave us a lot to discuss this week, what with Paula Deen and Ariana Grande being epic tools, Britney Spears' kids being all grown up, and a certain star of Independence Day having a child on Independence Day. Plus, the movies! Han Solo's getting his own flick, Mockingjay has rad posters, and Goosebumps gets a trailer. I'm not losing my mind over that or anything. All this and more, so let's dive on in. Hey, laddie!
Hi, Corey!
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. I had to think about that for a second. I saw your mouth make Tuesday.
Yep, I almost did say Tuesday.
It's a confusing day for me. Listen, the comic book store, when I have something in my pull, calls me on Tuesday night. And so I guess there's nothing in my pull this week because I didn't get a call, and it's like my whole week is thrown off because I'm like, well, the comic book store didn't call me, so what day is it? I don't.
Also, what is life? What do I do now?
Yeah, who am I?
Who am I? I don't know. I guess I have a lot to ponder. Your results are in, amigo. What's left to ponder? Nice comeback.
Little Zoolander. Anyways, I did have a thought about that.
You had a crazy week, huh?
Oh my god, I did. I think this is part of why I don't know what day it is.
Discombobulated?
Yeah, on top of having like a crazy week, I'm headed to Texas day after tomorrow, and that just
Texas
sort of snuck
forever,
up on
clear
me.
eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Exactly. You guys, I've been to that high school, FYI. Yeah. I took a picture wearing my Panthers sweatshirt outside of it. This is a Friday Night Lights reference, just in case. I don't know that our audience is necessarily the Friday Night Lights audience, but everybody's the Friday Night Lights audience.
Audiences are Friday Night Lights audience.
Someone linked me to, is my friend Marriage, she linked me to this Dawson's Creek, like, table read type thing that happened. It had, like, Mae Whitman, and, like, it had Kerr Smith and Kevin Williamson and all these people doing it.
Wait, was Mae Whitman in that?
No.
Oh.
Like, half the people on there weren't a part of this. I think Kerr Smith was like the only one who was in it, and Kevin Williamson obviously writing it. But Mae Whitman came and she was like, "Does everybody like my Tim Riggins picture?" And I was like, "I love this so much. I love you so much."
Love her. She's so cute.
Anyways, so this past week was Image Expo up in San Francisco, which is like an industry sort of con of sorts. I mean, it's an expo. It's what it is. So it's not like a big thing like Comic-Con or something where there's all these people cosplaying and there's a million events happening or anything like that. Instead, it's sort of, there's a keynote in the morning, and they basically run through like what Image is and what they have coming out. And they bring out the creators of the upcoming comics that they're doing, and those people sort of pitch what they're going to be doing to all the people. And so most of the people there are retailers and press. And then there's like some fans that come because then they have signings as well. So Mac, basically his boss was like, "Listen, I can't go to Image Expo. Do you want to go? I have a ticket." And so he was like, "Yeah, of course I want to go to that." But the thing is, he doesn't drive. He was going to take the train up there, which is a 1,000,000-hour train trip. And then he was like, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go." And so we road tripped up, which is, it's about like a 5.5 hour drive or something like that. Drove all the way up to San Francisco, got in at like 1 o'clock in the morning. My sister had made up like beds for us and things like that. So cute. She's like all prepped. She's like, "My mini fridge is stocked with nice cold drinks." She's like all set. I know, she's adorable.
What a good hostess.
I know. We come in and she's got this giant TV in her room and it's like playing Adventure Time, and it's great. But so we like get in it.
Was she there?
She was there, but she was like, "I'll sleep in Mom's room." She made like a floor bed, and then she had her bed. It was like all set. And my mom was sleeping on the couch. It was like basically everyone was shifted. But
cute.
So we went in there, and like the thing is, when you go on trips like this, it's like then you get all like talky because you're having a slumber party. So then Mac and I are talking for a little while, and finally he's like, okay, no more slumber party talk. We got to get up early in the morning." I'm like, "Okay," and then I'm lying there, and I'm like, I can't sleep under these conditions.
Is it like Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake and those like little skits they do, and they're like, "Jimmy, are you awake? Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're like, this is so cool, huh?
Exactly.
I was trying to do this list, but I wasn't taking a break.
I got it, though. I got where you're going with it. Yeah, so then I ended up going and, like, sleeping with my sister, but that meant that, like, we watched Comedy Bang Bang till, like, 3:30 in the morning. So when I got up in the morning, I was like, I'm super drained because I've been driving forever, and I stayed up too late. So we go, and the keynote is there, and it's super cool. And you guys, there are some great comics coming out from Image. Let me just tell you, there's some really cool sci-fi ones coming out. And the neat thing about Image, if you don't know anything about this this publisher, is that all their comics are creator-owned, which means that they only make money off selling the books. So if, say, someone like Robert Kirkman writes The Walking Dead and wants to sell it to AMC, he can do that, and Image has no control over it. They aren't like, well, now you give us royalties because these characters belong to us or anything like that, which is what, like, Marvel, DC, those kinds of things, if you write for them, they own your stuff. And you can't use it without their permission or anything like that. So that's, like, a huge deal. And that's the thing that they really try to impress upon you in this, is, like, how, like, this should sort of be how comics are done, and why it's so important to allow people to have that control over their own, you know, intellectual property, their creative property. And so some of the people who went up there and pitched their comics were, like, super cool, and, like, they, like, had the pitch down, and they were inspiring and all that kind of stuff. And then some of them were just adorable little comic book creators who would, like, get all caught up in trying to explain it, and they're like, oh, and then there's this one character, I can't forget this character does this, and this character, and afterwards you're like, I don't have a clue what this comic is about, but you're adorable. That's, you know, good on you.
But it was nice of you to come out of your room for a little bit.
I know, right? Even the owner of Image or whatever, who was, like, the keynote speaker, he was, like, wearing a suit that did not look like he was comfortable in it or it fit him. And he, like, stumbled over his words as he talked. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is precious. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen. So everyone was, like, super cool. Again, it's, like, mostly industry people and all that.
Right.
But after that, they had, like, a retailer thing. And I was like, Mac, I'm gonna die. So you stay and do your retailer thing. And I'm gonna go and find coffee. And so I went and I wandered around the Metreon and got some coffee for a little bit, and there was, like, a festival going on outside with all these kids playing music, and there was this one guy who was, like, dancing up a storm, and I don't know what culture he thought those dance moves were coming from, but they were amazing. It's like in his alien space world, these were moves, and he was, like, having a great time. The band leader was like, let's give it up for this guy. All on his
Whatever's
own up
going
there.
on here.
It was great. And so I came out and I started watching it, and then I just full on fell asleep in the grass. And afterwards, Mac was, like, all excited because apparently what they did was all the creators came out and were like, how can we help you as retailers? And then, like, they got to have conversations with them and stuff. And he's like, so I met this person and this person. And then he realized he made a fool of himself in one because he got a character name wrong. But it was great. And then we went back to my mom's house and we took a nap and drove back. So it was, like, 30 hours, like, just whirlwind trip. I came back and I was just like, I shall sleep for days. And then, of course, it was the 4th of July. So we, me and Wes, who you will all remember from a couple of shows, but specifically, like, 2 weeks back, he was on here. Yeah. We drove out to Kristen's place, or Kristen's parents' place, out in Laverne, and I made him drive because it's 2.5 hours away, and I had been driving for 30 hours. So there you go. Bammo. That was a crazy week. So I'm all over. But Independence Day was super fun.
So fun. It was really fun. It was a good day. Yeah, my parents have a big party every year. So Corey came out. So it was really fun.
There was a cornhole tournament. I mean, like,
for
serious.
We're very serious. So we had a cornhole tournament. The bracket was all effed up. But
yeah, it was messed up.
So usually my brother's friend Brian, my brother's friend Brian does the brackets because he is, like, a crazy person and is, like, really into brackets. Okay, so, like, for everything. Right. And, like, is, like, really into basketball, blah, blah. He wasn't there this year, so we're like, oh my gosh. We realized we really need to train someone to do Brian's job because no one else knows how to make one.
No, it's a complicated
Well, then what was funny is that my brother was like, I don't know how to do it. I was like, that is impossible because you have a bracket for everything. you know how, he's like, well, I can fill one out. I was like, yes, and you can read them. If you can fill it out and read it, you can make one.
Yeah, it seems like what's the
They're all the same, so anyway. So his friend, it was like all wonky, but it was still fun. We did that.
Kristen
and then
didn't even get to play till like the third round, and she was livid.
Three rounds of people played, and then me and my brother were like, "Do we ever get to play? This is the worst." Anyway, it was fine. We figured it out. So it was fun, and then we played match for a little bit. I don't know if you guys used to play match as kids. You take the match down the bottom of the pool, and it floats up, and then it's anarchy as everyone jumps in and tries to grab it.
It's fun to watch, let me tell you. Especially watching, like, adults do this. Because adults take up so much more space in a pool than children do when playing this. When I was a kid, it was like, they're like, little dips going in and all that kind of stuff. When you see adults, you're like, they're going to break. Like, they're just going to break each other.
We're going to kill someone.
Yeah, you, like, jump the length of the pool across each other. And
so it was fun. And then fireworks were rad. And then we came back and watched President Whitmore's speech from Independence Day. And we all gave a standing ovation, like clapping and standing in them. We're like,
It was pretty great. It was great. And then on the drive back, like, because the fireworks in Laverne were at like 9, and so when Wes and I were driving back at 10ish, there's the lawnmower.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's here. When we were driving back at like 10ish, there were still a bunch of fireworks displays going off. So all the way through LA and that general vicinity, it was like fireworks surrounding us. So
that's fun.
We were singing Journey and Hall & Oates and watching fireworks.
America, you guys.
America.
We celebrated the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. It was adopted on July the 4th. It was not signed completely until August the 2nd and was actually arrived in England on August the 10th. So there you go.
Da-na-na-na. Thank you, Laddie, for that history
You're
lesson.
welcome.
Let it never be said you didn't learn nothing on the Fancave.
Yep. Let it be said that we know stuff about other things.
About other things. Yes.
Anyway.
Anyways, so this week...
Oh, and then also the next day we stood in the pool and watched the Women's World Cup final, which was very exciting.
Nice. Very nice.
Really fun.
Soccer is not my thing, but good on those ladies.
You know what? It's not really my thing either, but I'm like, you know what? America's in the final. We should probably watch it. And they were amazing and super awesome. So
I know, they were like actually scoring goals. My favorite thing though is
it was a bananas for the first we're like, this is not real life.
Over and over. Because all these people on Twitter and stuff like that were like, oh, what do you guys all have to say about like soccer being low scoring now? I'm like, it's one game, you guys. If you can say this as an exception, it's a low scoring sport.
Also, 5 is not a high score.
Right, exactly.
That's
not a huge amount.
Basketball regularly gets into the hundreds. So when you get someone that scores 100 goals, then come and talk to me.
Right, like calm down. Yeah. I always think it's funny how like soccer people get all like, upset. I'm like, it doesn't bother me that people don't like baseball or rugby or whatever. I mean, it kind of does sometimes if they're getting like douchey about it or whatever. But, it's like, listen, for most Americans, soccer's boring. You just need to accept that. You have the rest of the world is on your side.
Also, what always makes me laugh is they get all mad because, you don't watch soccer, and then everybody watches, like, the World Cup, like, bandwagon, you're just watching the World Cup. I'm like,
we can't win.
Pick one. You either want me to watch it or you don't.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you because you're being a dick. So
it's not super accessible either. That's the thing about sports that aren't,
it's like if you don't have Fox News 8, you're not going to see soccer.
ESPN the Ocho.
Yeah, ESPN the Ocho. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I don't know that, but congratulations, women's team. It sounded very exciting. I love the GIF that I've seen floating around of it's like women's sports versus men's sports, which is always what I say. Like women's sports are always so hardcore, and it's like basically someone, I don't know what happened to her during the game, but she's like bleeding profusely from the face. And she then like starts walking and just like spits and keeps going. Yeah. And then it goes over to like a guy in the men's one, and someone like touches him like this, and he's like, ah! And he like roars and jumps and hits the ground and starts rolling like he's like someone has assaulted him. Yeah. Like, oh god, suck it up, Holmes. Rub some dirt in it.
She's like, rub some dirt in it. You're fine.
I was like, this is so perfect. And also why I watch rugby. All the blood. It's great. But anyway, that sounded creepy, I know.
Yeah, that was really creepy. Yeah. Speaking of Independence Day, there's a very exciting child born on Independence Day. So
to us a child is born.
Okay, wow. Well,
okay. I was excited about it.
Yes, well, Jeff Goldblum, for those of you who didn't know, and we did post this, I think, on our Facebook, joined Facebook, like, 3 days ago. Or whatever. So it was, like, very cute, and he
must have been just, like, in the hospital, like, you know, I'm bored. I guess I'll make a Facebook.
Make a Facebook. So he joins Facebook, and, like, the third thing he posts is this picture of his baby boy, who was born on Independence Day.
On Independence Day, you guys!
Are you
serious?
What?
That's, like...
Chaos theory.
I can't even wrap my head. I'm like, did they C-section? They were like, it's coming around here. Let's just get this thing out on Independence Day. It's bananas. It's bonkers. It's amazing.
Crazy pants.
Crazy.
So anyway, but his little baby's name is Charlie Ocean Goldblum, which I just think is adorable.
It's so cute.
Cog. C-O-G.
Ah, bless. I love everything about this. And,
so cute.
It looks so little compared to Jeff Goldblum being a giant. And
he's a giant, and his wife, who's like 12 or something.
She's a child.
She's so young and beautiful. I'm like, wow, good job, Jeff.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, you're pretty old for a... I know. You're pretty old to have a wife that pretty. So.
Yeah. So good on you. But, I mean, look at him. He's earned it, right?
It's true.
I was watching that, have you seen...
I'm not saying he's unattractive. I'm just saying he's getting
But he's old. No, he's like in his 60s. Have you seen the 12 Angry Men parody on Amy Schumer?
No.
Okay, well, you need to watch it. Basically, it's, you know, they do 12 Angry Men, black and white. She's, like, not even really in the episode. And it's got, like, Paul Giamatti. It's got, gosh, who else is in it? There's John Hawkes. There's a ton of these famous men. And basically, they're a jury trying to decide whether Amy Schumer is hot enough to be on TV. And it's super clever. Super, super clever. But Jeff Goldblum is in it. And he's, like, wearing, like, a short sleeve shirt or whatever. And I'm looking at his arms. I was like, what? Like, what 60-something-year-old guy looks like this? Like, he's got, like, a runner body, but, like, not, like, a gross one. Like, where you're like, you're a string bean. And you're just like, what? How? You make no sense.
What?
But I love it.
Yeah.
So he's earned his 27-year-old ballerina or whatever she is. And his cute little baby.
Oh, so congratulations,
Jeff. Congratulations, Jeff. It's a happy day.
Happy day.
Yeah, and he also, I mean, before he posted this, like the first or second thing he posted was a brief sort of teaser for Independence Day Resurgence. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Independence Day Resurgence. So you don't get really anything out of it. It's like alien transmission sounds and scrambliness, and I think you can hear, was it the speech? No, it wasn't the speech. There's, like, a clip, though, of something from the first movie that's talking over it, and I can't remember what it is.
So it's basically a fan-made video.
Yeah, essentially.
That's what he posts.
You should check it out. Everybody should like Jeff Goldblum on Facebook.
Yes, follow him on Facebook. He's going to be wonderful and endearing.
Delightful. Yeah.
And he posted that funny picture. He's like, I tried to make this serious Independence Day picture, and this guy photobombed me. He's like Liam Hemsworth, like, and I'm like, I just haven't checked the IMDb.
I know. I was like,
I didn't even know he was in it. I was like, why is he there?
Mm-hmm.
Is this Hunger Games? What's going on?
Yeah, he's just hanging out. You know, they share a soundstage.
So they're bros.
Yeah,
you know,
broskies.
I'm stoked
on this.
Anyway,
yeah. So that's an exciting thing that's happening.
And then another flashback, not quite flashback, but so Britney Spears posted this adorable picture of her and her boys doing the like looking through the beads from Oops, I Did It Again album cover, which Corey and I have decided is our favorite Britney Spears album.
Yeah, we did discuss that. Yeah.
But I was like, I was a little distracted. I was supposed to be like a cute picture of like, oh, look how cute we are. Her children are like old now.
Yeah, they are like kids. They're like preteens.
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
I was like, no, because they were just born. I remember. I remember when they were born, and so they can't be this old. And, like, they were babies and so cute and blonde and, like, toddling around. And what's happening? And now they're, like, getting to that awkward, like, 11-year-old stage.
Yeah. It's the weirdest. Like, it's hard to wrap your head around. And Britney looks like such a mom in the picture, too. Like, the whole outfit is so momish.
And it's, like, embarrassing. Like, oh, let's recreate this album cover. Yeah. It's so funny. It's like, that's a mom thing to do. You're being such a mom. Like, what's happening? I mean, like, man. I love it, but I'm so confused by this entire thing.
It's one of those things that just makes you feel, you're like, how old am I right now? I saw a thing on Twitter the other day. I had to retweet it because it just, like, blew my mind that that 70s show, the first episode premiered 17 years ago. They were like, it premiered so long ago, it's older than Eric Foreman was, the main character, when the show started.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what? That's not right. That makes no sense to me.
And it took 17 years for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis to get married.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
You guys finally
they
did it.
They did it. They got hitched this week. They were like, it's the 17th anniversary of the 70s show. We should get married. To commemorate
Clearly
that event.
It's meant to be.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they realized that they did that like right up against the anniversary there. But yeah, so that freaked me out between Britney Spears' kids and there's just all these things that I feel like I'm not old enough for that to be a thing, and Britney Spears having preteen children is amongst them. She's not that much older than me, and that's weird. I don't want to have preteen children.
You don't want to have any children.
That's a good point.
Babies are pointless.
Yeah, preteen might be a better point for them, but depending. So yeah, that's crazy. But check it out. It's funny to see Britney Spears in total mom mode.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, it looks good on her.
I know. After years of like strife and trauma and like everything being terrible, like good. She's just being.
I know. It's like I just want Brit to be happy and healthy.
She's wonderful. Stable. She's got her Vegas thing. I think she just broke up with her boyfriend or whatever, but that happens. It's just life, and I'm glad that she's living it. And we're not constantly getting terrible, she shaved her head, she did this crazy thing or whatever. It's nice when people mellow out. It gives me hope Brit. Yeah, it gives me hope for Amanda Bynes and Lindsay Lohan and all those other gals who just need a solid foundation and people who support and not enable. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Brit, you're an inspiration.
Yep.
I think we're talking to everybody we talk about today.
I know. That's how we roll.
Personal address.
Sometimes, what if they see this? We don't want to be talking about them. We're like, hey,
you.
We're okay if you listen to this and hear us talking. So we're going to talk to you like you're real.
This is for you.
Because you are real. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anyway.
Yes, you are.
I guess on a sadder celebrity news front, we had some pretty dumb people also this week.
WTF, mate.
Yes.
Paula Deen.
Start this one, yeah.
Paula Deen. This woman, she is, so one of my favorite things is that our friends Emily and Jerry, after the last Paula Deen racism debacle, they were like, her food is still so good. It's so bad for you. It's disgusting, So Emily would make recipes that were Paula Deen's, but she would call them she'd make Paula Deen cookies. She'd call them hate cookies. Like, she would always be trying to trick me into eating her hate cookies and things like that, because I'm known for not partaking in things that come from terrible people. But so now, it's been 2 years since her last thing. She's apparently learned nothing, and tweeted a picture of her son and some other guy, and they're like in costume as Ricky and Lucy, but her son is in brown face. He has brown makeup on. What? And her excuse was it was from 2011, as if that makes it okay. You still tweeted it, and then they went to the it was a social media manager and that person's been fired, which is such a scapegoat. There's not one person who is looking at the stuff that she tweets. She's a huge major brand with a whole bunch of stuff to get over. They clearly have to have someone else involved in this, Come on.
Paula Deen, come on.
Get it together, Paula Deen. It's how... She's still... she and her son are both technically employed by Food Network or affiliated with Food Network. And it's at this point, can you just detach? Maybe not, Disney and so forth are taking down Bill Cosby statues. Food Network, I think you can, distance yourself from the woman who refuses to believe she's an obvious racist. It's ridiculous, Kristen.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know. I just kind of, I guess we'll just have to keep hoping that she figures it out and is realizing hey, this is really terrible. And I should stop.
It's the strangest thing. People just keep having these reactions. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm not racist. I just like to make fun of black and brown people.
I don't even know what to say. I guess I just really hoping that, I don't know.
Paula Deen.
I'm just tired of everybody being so awful.
Right? Exactly.
So I just want, especially with like what's going on, I just want someone to not be awful. I want someone to be like, you know what? I want her to be like, yes, this was a huge misstep, and this was a terrible thing to do. Right. Should not have done it. I'm sorry. There is no. I have no excuse.
But. Yeah,
there's no buts. No nothing. Just yep. You're right. This was wrong, and I'm gonna own it, and we're gonna move forward, and I'm gonna stop doing stuff like that.
Right. Exactly.
I'm like, what we need. I wouldn't feel bad about making a Paula Deen thing if she. It's like, okay, yeah, you had these things that came out, and you're like, you know what? Those were that was wrong. I'm whatever, and we're gonna move forward from there. Because I'm like, I've done some stuff in the past. Like, I would hate for people to hold against me forever. So I'm like, I would love to be able to be like, great, Paula Deen, thank you. Great, let's move forward.
Yeah.
So
it's the owning it factor.
Yeah, it's just you gotta own your ish.
Yeah,
you gotta be like, yep,
terrible.
This was
things.
Stupid. This was terrible. This was a terrible thing.
And listening to people, too. I mean, that's the thing, is it's like she refuses to sort of acknowledge, like, the damage she does to people. Just like when she did those interviews a couple years ago, it was like, basically like, I used the N-word and it totally affected me, And you're like, own what you're doing to other people. Because like you said, these are sort of volatile times in our culture. I mean, you have like a mass shooting in a church, and then you have churches burning all over the United States, stuff like that. Like, listen, there are people who are being injured by people like you. Just suck it up, own it, and say like, maybe there's a problem here that I've been blind to. And it's this refusal to acknowledge the harm that is done by people like her. That's the real problem with this whole thing. So frickin' Paula, get it together, own your ish, and maybe stop being a racist. Yeah. And you know who else needs to stop being a dick?
Who?
Ariana Grande.
Oh, Ariana.
She for like 5 minutes had me convinced that I liked her when she was on I want to say it was Fallon. Was that the one where she did the amazing Celine Dion impression? Did you see that?
That was her?
I
thought that was Christina Aguilera.
No, she did Whitney. It's the same kind of thing. So who did Christina do it with? Was it Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon. They do musical impressions.
Okay,
wheel.
Yeah. So Ariana Grande did one of those too, and she nailed it. And she was super funny on the whole show and like entertaining. And I was like, maybe she's not as terrible as all the press says, And there was even a part of me that thought like maybe this whole diva thing is her own sort of PR machine, because here's the thing about Ariana Grande. She started out as a Nickelodeon star or something like that, but her trajectory towards being like adult singer happened much faster than your other general like Miley Cyrus, your Demi Lovato, all those kinds of things, where they kind of tried to do the we're still innocent, go for that target audience until they grew out of it. She was just, like, out the gate, like, nope, that's not me. I sing songs about sex and all kinds of craziness. And so I was like, maybe the diva thing is her trying to, prove her worth in some way. And so she's doing it on purpose. But this video came out, and she's in, like, Lake Elsinore or something like that, in a donut shop with her boyfriend, who's one of her backup dancers, I guess. And they're, like, daring each other to lick donuts that are out on the counter. And then leave them. Yeah, I know. So they're, like, leaning over and licking them and then, like, looking at each other and laughing and then moving on. And you're like, okay, gross, for one thing. And then, like, you see a little later in this that this woman brings out, like, a new tray of donuts or whatever for them. And she's like, what the F is that? Like, and, like, to the woman. And she's like, I hate Americans. I hate America. And you're like, oh, okay. And so she's just like a super jerk to the woman who works there too. And that's unacceptable. Like,
you just licked all her donuts.
Yeah, you licked all her donuts. Now you're gonna get all up in her face. This is the same thing with Justin Bieber, where it's like, okay, when he's being a douchebag, but it only affects him, like, fine. Then he starts, like, peeing in buckets at McDonald's and stuff, and you're like, dude, what?
Yeah, to go be destructive by yourself somewhere.
Yeah, and not
Although
to,
I still would hope that you would stop doing that because it's also
grow
hurtful
up
to you. But don't,
this
woman's,
minimum wage
trying to make a living
somewhere.
and you're being terrible.
Yeah.
It's come on. Just be kind to each other. Haven't we talked about this before?
Yeah. This is our rule, you guys. Be kind to each other.
Be kind to each other. Life is too short to be terrible.
Right? That's
really, that's just, and there's no reason.
Right.
Not that I'm saying that there is a reason that you would want to do this. That's also not a thing.
Yeah,
but this makes it even worse because it's not even the new, I don't know. No, actually, forget I even said that. No. This is just singularly terrible.
Singularly
Don't lick people's
terrible.
Food and put it back.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
That's disgusting. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Also, where's her mother?
I know, right?
Because if I got caught doing that, I don't even know. I can't even tell you. Nope. I think I don't even want to go there with what would happen at home. I mean, she's not how old is she?
I think she's of age. I mean, she's probably she's 20 or something.
Yeah. Still, I would have got ripped a new one.
Oh, absolutely. If I did that now. I could have
been 30 and done that. Yeah. My mom would have come in and been like, what the fuck you think you're doing? You get your butt home right now.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry.
I mean, that's the thing is these parents have to sit at home and be like, what have I done? You know? Or at least I hope that's what they're doing. Is being like, where did I go wrong?
I hope whatever Ariana Grande's middle name is, she got a phone call with that in it. You know? It's totally. Ariana Louise Grande, you get your butt home right now.
I hope it's Louise.
I hope she gets a howler in the mail.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Straight up. That's what she deserves, a howler, you guys. In front of all her friends and backup dancers and
at a concert.
At a concert. Ariana Louise Grande!
This is your mother!
How dare you!
I saw what you did to that donut shop. You are going back and apologizing right this second.
If only those were real. I would be sending them to I'd be sending it to Ariana Grande, to Justin Bieber, to Chris Brown. There would be so many people getting those at this point. I'd just be sending them left and right. Which would be hilarious. If howlers were a real thing, can you imagine how so many people would get in a day?
Oh,
They'd just be following you everywhere. Just people screaming. It's a great mental image.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ariana Grande, boo! Boo! We're talking to you.
Yeah.
And boo.
Yeah. So feel free to come defend yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We would love to discuss this with you.
have a nice conversation about being kind.
I'm sure you can be I'm sure you have it in you to be kind to someone. You know?
Yeah.
We believe the best of you.
We do.
We just don't think you're living to your potential.
Yeah. You are not being your best Ariana now. Let me tell you.
Definitely not your best Louise. I'll tell you that.
True story. Hey, movies.
Hey, movies!
Oh my gosh.
Big movie news.
There's a lot happening, I think.
There is.
For one thing, Star Wars, Han Solo gets an origin story.
Hey, I'm very excited about this.
I think you're stoked on it.
I think this is going to be an excellent idea.
Which is great because I love that the directors of it described it as the first film we've worked on that seems like a good idea to begin with.
Yeah.
Which is great because the guys doing it are Christopher Miller and Phil Lord, who made Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Lego Movie, and the Jump Street movies. Yeah. So yeah, that's
actually very true. None of those seemed like a good idea from the outset.
No.
So I'm excited. I think it'll be super interesting. He's always just been such an interesting character to me. Just because he's, I don't know, such a, just funny. And I don't know, him and Chewie, I hope Chewie, how does he meet Chewie? How does this How can he understand Chewbacca? No one else in the world seems to be able to understand him. I have so many questions.
Yeah. If you were going to spin off anyone, this is exactly who you would want it to be.
Totally. Oh, yeah, because no one else, you don't really care about anyone else.
Right.
Because really the two, when they're the most interesting, and they weren't in the kind of origin movie for Star Wars, so you kind of get where Darth Vader, okay, we got his backstory, and you basically get Luke and Leia, how they kind of got to where they were-ish, So all those be like, okay, great.
Yeah.
But,
this has potential to be just a fun adventure movie, which I think...
Oh, totally.
This, Mac and I were talking about this on the drive up to NorCal, too, and sort of the template of adventure movies and why they're so important. I'm thinking about Indiana Jones sort of being like really your ideal. So when people think of adventurers and stuff like that, they think of Indiana Jones.
It's like a burly
the rope
adventurer.
and the
like, which I think it's not. We shouldn't gloss over the fact that Harrison Ford played both of these people.
Exactly. Harrison Ford is our icon of adventure.
Yeah.
And so I think that this has the potential, you know, if I'm hoping if this is the way they do it, I'm sure they'll come up with something great, whatever it is. Totally. But I like the idea of just sort of this, you know, adventure in space with lots of him getting himself into trouble and getting out of it through like the combination of smooth talk and, you know, fast shooting, you know, like I think that is what would be super exciting to watch, you know, and what we like to imagine probably would be sort of where he came from.
I think it's like a Firefly situation.
Right. It's like a Western.
Like a Mal, you know, but like a little lighter. I don't know. Well, actually, Mal could be. Anyway, whatever.
But he's that sort of space rogue.
That kind of space cowboy.
Yeah.
Thing. I don't know. Oh, I'm very excited. It's going to be
No, I'm for this. And everyone knows that, like, Star Wars is not my franchise, obviously, but I think I'm stoked for it. I mean, I'm excited cautiously for the new Star Wars movie just because
Looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. I figure since JJ was able to get non-Trekkies into Star Trek, that he's going to be able to get me into Star Wars.
What do they call Star Wars fans?
I don't know. I guess here's my thing is I think Star Wars is more like mainstream. And so since like everybody's kind of a Star Wars fan, they don't have their own name.
And Trekkies are just kind of...
Trekkies is kind of like a derogatory term for geeks.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
I accept it. I accept that this is a thing. But it's okay. So I don't know if Star Wars fans have that. If you guys are Star Wars fans out there and you're like, duh, we're called blah, 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 tell us. I think that's what they're called. Blah, blah, blah. That's, but no, I'm stoked for this, and I think these guys are going to do a good job because so far their track record is all things I like.
There you go.
So, that's always good. And it says the story focuses on how young Han Solo became the smuggler, thief, and scoundrel whom Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi first encountered in the cantina at Mos Eisley.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I know. I love the word scoundrel.
Me too. We should use it more.
We really should. I'm into that. Just like I was watching Jaws for the millionth time the other day, and Roy Scheider pulls off the word swell so well. And I'm like, well, why don't we use swell? Swell is a great word. You know,
swell is a great word. I use it a lot in texting.
Do you?
Not a whole lot in
Yeah, not so much out loud.
You're swell.
Yeah,
you know, I can't really put off in real life, but. I mean, I probably could. I could pull off lots of old man sayings.
Yeah, you do. I wouldn't draw the line at swell. That's he's the way he drops it in things like is so casual too. Like, you know, someone does something, he's like, oh, that's swell. I'm like, ah.
That's the key. So you don't want to
not
emphasize the word. You want to slip it in there.
Exactly. Just like you'd be like, that's good. You know, just swell. Yeah. All right, swell. So I'm going to try to start doing that from this point forward. Just when people say things, like, oh, swell. Okay. That's swell. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
By the way, I was really excited because in Texas, in Austin, this coming week, they're doing a float on a lake and watch Jaws thing in black inner tubes. And I was like, I'm in. I told my friend Chelsea, let's do this. And she was like, I actually had that on my list of things we could do this weekend. And then she went to get tickets and it was sold out.
Really just get your own black inner tube. What are they going to do? How are they going to stop you?
Well, I think it's like a private place. Like, it's not like a huge lake. It's like a man-made thing.
Boo.
I know. I'm like, what? I wanted to go so bad because I've been seeing pictures of this on the internet for a while, but I didn't realize it was Texas. If I had realized that, I would have looked it up and been like, months ago, like, Chelsea, let's get tickets to this. But since I didn't realize that was where it was happening, I missed it, and the tickets have been on since May. You guys, this is a tragedy. I'm missing that. Ernest Cline is swapping places with me, so Ernest Cline's going to be in California while I'm in Texas, and in Texas while I'm in California, talking about Armada, his new book. It's a poorly timed trip to Austin. Mm-hmm. But anyways, other movies. Oh, it's Shark Week, you guys, FYI. I've been watching it this year. It's a little boring.
Aw, boo.
Yeah, I know. They've run out, I think, at this point. It's just, now it's all basically like show after show of shark finding technology. And they're just, okay, you're going to find a shark. Like, that's cool. And then they have the made up stuff too, which is annoying. Like, I don't want to watch your stupid thing that makes it seem like this megalodon is still here and we can find it, and it's just boring and it's sad. It's very sad for me because I love Shark Week. But we have been seeing previews for Sci-Fi's Sharknado 3.
Because that's necessary.
Oh, hell no. Is the name. That wasn't my response to Kristen's snark. The name is Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no.
I know how this is going to sound, but I can sense these storms now. These sharks, they have a scent. It's not a pretty one.
Sharknadoes have now been reported all up and down the East Coast.
They're everywhere.
Is this going to be the big one? Is this going to be one we can't contain?
Merging Sharknadoes?
Sharkicane. Oh, hell no! Millions of people are gonna die.
So you really are saving the world.
You don't know how to stop being a hero.
This isn't about being a hero. This is about us. This is about our family.
What do we do now? We fight.
One by one, I'll beat you down. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Bit by bit, I ain't messing around. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Personally, I really liked Sharknado 2. Did you watch it, Kristen?
I didn't see any Sharknadoes.
You've never seen any of the Sharknadoes?
No. We were all gonna watch it together, but then I couldn't go, so everyone watched it without me, and so then I was like, nah, whatever, forget it, I won't watch it. Oh. And now it kind of doesn't seem like something I want to watch by myself, so. And I honestly only really wanted to watch it because everyone was gonna be watching it, and that seemed like fun.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I don't really want to see it.
Isn't the first one I wasn't super into. I was like, okay, well, that was a lot of hype for nothing. But the second one was awesome. It was ridiculous, and there were celebrity cameos everywhere, and it was just so bonkers and over the top. I had a great time with that one. And the third one has Hasselhoff in it, so you got that.
Unless they're doing a theme song like to that other one.
It has a theme song, and it's ridiculous. Oh. It's, oh my gosh, it's not David Hasselhoff, so it's not as good as Kung Fury either.
Yeah.
But it looks like fun, and it has like it has the whole Today Show cast in it. Like, so it's like Kathy Lee and Hoda and Al Roker, and
great, our doppelgangers.
Our doppelgangers are in that.
Bizarro us.
Yeah, I was watching them the other day because, well, this is totally actually on accident, but I was cleaning up and I turned on the TV and it happened to be just as Zach Levi was coming on to talk about Geeks Who Drink. I know. And so I caught the end of a little thing for it and I was like, Geeks Who Drink, it's happening. And then he talked to them and then they played basically smaller rounds of the same things that we played on the show. And I was like, yeah, there's just no way around it that this is our doppelgangers. There's no there, yeah.
Oh man.
It just is what it is. We have to accept that. But they're much drunker than we are in the morning. That's our one thing we can hold on to. We do not drink nearly as much as Kathy Lee and Hoda at 10 a.m.
Truth.
So sad. Why was I talking about this?
Sharknado.
Oh, yeah, but
they're
Today Show, yeah. So they're in Sharknado, and it just looks so stupid and fun. So I'm in for it. I will be watching it. It premieres, July 19th or something like that, or 20th. I don't know, somewhere in that general vicinity. But you know what I'll be doing. I'll be watching Sharknado.
And I won't be.
And Kristen won't be, unless I make her.
You can't make me.
I think I can.
Yeah, right.
I think I can.
That's adorable.
Goosebumps!
Goosebumps! We got that cool poster that Corey was kind of losing her mind about.
Oh my god. I made it my cover photo, you guys, on Facebook. I'm so into it. It's very, never-ending story looking, isn't it?
Yeah, with, the...
Yeah. That's a good description.
Yeah,
you've got R.L. Stine, played by Jack Black, and the two kids who are the leads in this, standing on either side of him, looking scared, and then this wave coming through the sky of Goosebumps villains, essentially, led in the biggest one being Slappy from Night of the Living Dummy.
Still can't watch that episode of Buffy, man.
I don't blame you for that. And so today, like an hour and a half ago, they posted the Goosebumps trailer online.
Nobody make a sound.
Based on the worldwide phenomenon, Goosebumps.
Abominable snowman just crawled out of a book. That doesn't just happen.
You've just released every monster I've ever created. Run! Go, go, go! I'm stuck. Go on without me. Save yourself.
Okay, good luck.
No, I didn't mean it.
This year,
The only way to stop them is to suck them back into the books.
You've read them all, right?
Yeah.
If we know their weaknesses,
Come on, go, go!
we can capture them all.
We're the only ones who can do this.
I'm okay.
I am so
It's
stoked.
like Jumanji.
It is,
but with Goosebumps.
It's Goosebumps Jumanji. It's amazing. Basically, this kid moves in next door to R.L. Stine and his daughter, and he goes into the house and sees that he's like, oh, there's all these Goosebumps manuscripts. Why are they locked? And he opens one and unleashes the abominable snowman of Pasadena. And then somehow, I don't know how all of them get opened, but one way or another, they all get opened, and all of the Goosebumps villains are like terrorizing the world. And it's just, I mean, it looks so magical. I'm so excited. Yeah. I like the way they're doing this because, I mean, they easily could have just made it sort of like the Goosebumps TV show and take one storyline and make that into it. But I like this meta thing where, you know, R.L. Stine is the character and the books it feels like getting to dive back into the books and the imagination and that spot that you were in when you read them, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's fun because it seems as if either all of the kids, or at least that one like nerdy kid that's with the main kid, has like read all of them.
Exactly.
So because they've read them, they know how to stop them.
Yeah.
And so I think he says in the book, he's like, we're the only ones that can do this because we know the stories, and so we have to be the ones. And you're like, yeah! You know the stories. Let's get them. So I don't know. It just seems like it'll be super. Yeah, it looks just fun, and then it looks like they get a lot of the kids in the town involved because all the kids have read them. So I think that's even cool too. Wonderful. It's like not just these 3 kids. Like, we're gonna need backup. Good thing we know all these people have read these books. So.
Which is that would have been my dream as a child too. I mean, I read all of these. You guys, I have a box in my storage unit that has all of the Goosebumps books in it. I opened it up one day. I was like, yes, I still have these, because I read them religiously. And it's funny because I was looking up like the timeline of them in the order they came out the other day, and I realized I was like, it's kind of like Harry Potter had been out for like 2 years or something like that before I read one, you know? And I thought that was like with Goosebumps the same thing. And then I was like, no, I must have been reading these from like day one. Like, I don't know how they became so huge and so popular as fast as they did, but as soon as those book orders came out, as soon as the book fair came to school, it was like me and my friend Matt were like, Goosebumps shelf! And like, we go straight for it. Oh man, so this is so exciting for me, and I'm excited that it looks like it's gonna be fun. I have a friend who works on it, and she has said that so far the audiences that have seen it have really loved it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jack Black doesn't look like he's being like crazy Jack Black.
He's not Jack Blackie.
Yeah, he looks like he's. It's kind of. I kind of feel like I'm gonna liken it to School of Rock, where he's like kind of crazy, but not like over the top, like out of control. So I'm like, I like this. I think you're gonna do great things.
Yeah, you're gonna go on to do good stuff, kid. That's swell. That's swell.
You're swell. But yeah, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
So that was a trailer and poster there.
There's a trailer. And then in addition to movie posters, Mockingjay Part 2 has released their character posters. So I don't know if you remember the first Mockingjay. They had these. They were like all dressed up in these. Or I guess it wasn't Mockingjay. It was it Catching Fire? Yeah, it was Catching Fire. So I actually don't remember what they did for the first movie for their character posters. Anyway.
That's a good question.
I don't know if they
did. I think we talked about them, though, I assume.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you remember, anyway, they were all dressed up and they're like fancy ones. So in this one, they've got like a war paint, and it's like close-ups of their face with a red Mockingjay painted on them. And they're awesome.
They're so cool.
Katniss looks like she's about to freaking kill someone, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
She's got her like mouth. She's like doing this like I don't know. It's just crazy. PETA actually comes in a close second for scariest one because there's like done something to his eyes in it where they're like almost glowing.
Yeah,
and he also looks like he's about to murder you.
Yeah.
So that one is cool.
I feel like his eyes are like reflecting something, or
reflecting something. And then I always forget the girl's name. That's like the recording lady.
The one with the like half shaved head.
Yeah, hers is pretty cool.
Yeah, they look so bamf, and it's it's resistance. Like they're like kind of propaganda poster type things.
Totally.
And, like, these are your leaders, and they're terrifying.
Yeah.
So I'm like stoked over these. I want them on my wall. I just want like a...
Well, they'd already done that really cool. So they'd done like an initial poster of like President Snow in all white. It's like a statue. And then they did like a second one of like that totally broken and crumbled with like the red Mockingjay on the back. And you're like, yes! Here we go. Oh, so I'm excited. I think we've talked about this before, whereas this book wasn't our favorite, but the first movie was really great because they got rid of the boring stuff and or it at least showed you, instead of just talking about it, they showed you stuff that was happening. So you got to be a little bit more in the story. So I have high hopes for the second one. I think it's I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
I'm ready to like yell and cry and
I'm fully ready to cry. I'm going to be weeping.
There's at least one person we're going to lose in this one that I expect to just, fall apart. That's going to happen. I was so angry when it happened in the book, like the way it was done, and I felt
you didn't realize it happened until like 3 pages later, like, whoa, wait, what?
Hold on. Yeah, so
pump your brakes there. What's going on here? So
so I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun. And crazy banana sauce. So of course all of these things that we're talking about will be on the blog.
So you can take a look at them and not just take our word for the creepy glowy eyes, but actually
you don't have to
see
take
them.
our word for it. Ghostbusters, they've been like steadily releasing little things, so we got to see what their outfits look like, and we got to see their proton packs, and this week we get to see the car.
That was a hearse, right?
It was a hearse.
Okay.
Yes.
The captions, I didn't really like open the articles. I was just looking at like the list of like, the Cadillac. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that would have been the descriptive word I used. I think the descriptive word I would have used was it's a hearse that they've retrofitted, and it's. I think you guys, if you've seen Ghostbusters, it's all like DIY, right? Yeah. So they've all like clearly made their own stuff, and this car is similar. So it's like kind of janky and old, but it's got all the crap on it, and so it's going to be cool.
I mean, here's my thing. I think people who are anti this movie are just being ridiculous at this point, where it's like there's nothing they could possibly do with this movie that would make you like it. You're just opposed to it on principle. And this is one of the things I saw today was when I saw this link, is someone had linked to the picture and just wrote nope on it, and then someone else had responded and was like, this has none of the character of the original. And so like, just to be like, sure, I looked at a picture of the original and this one, and they look almost exactly the same, except one's a hearse and one's an ambulance, that's it. That's the only difference between these two cars. Like, otherwise it has the same DIY look. Like, they have a lot of the same things, the like ladder on the side, the beacon siren-y things. Like, it's essentially the same thing. Look at the two of them, and like, I mean, if you were gonna say, oh, maybe it's too derivative of the other one, they should have done something else, that's fine. But to be like, this doesn't have any of the character, like, shut up, okay? Like,
also, if you think about it, a hearse is more appropriate than an ambulance, because a hearse carries ghosts. Dead people.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense. Ha! Lawyered!
Take that.
Lawyered. I get sick of people, like, bad-mouthing things about this movie that, like...
just because they already hated it to begin with.
I know. I think we've said before, like, okay, well, all of you guys can go and like, hate it and boycott it, and we're gonna go have an awesome time seeing this movie.
Yeah.
Like, so... enjoy being principled. There he goes, off to write that hit song, Alone in My Principles. That's what I'm saying. That thing you do.
All by myself in the dark.
Yeah. I'm excited about it, and I think it looks cool. I think it looks super awesome, and every pic they've put out, I felt like it captures that sort of DIY spirit. It looks like it's gonna be fun. So I'm stoked for it, personally.
Yeah,
You keep on keeping on, Ghostbusters.
Keep doing you. Keep releasing the little snippets.
I know. This is so much better, too. I mean, the other movie that does all the constant releasing of snippets is, of course, Suicide Squad. And every time we're like, why does this keep looking worse? How can it look
Actually,
worse?
If you think about it, we haven't seen anything about that in a while.
No. But I follow Ike Barinholtz on Instagram. And so he'll post, like, things like him with the guys of it. And I'm like, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that Ike Barinholtz is in this movie. Let alone, like, the rest of the people he's surrounded with in these photos. Like...
well, mainly because I feel like he was added so late. He was one of those people who were like, now Ike Barinholtz is in this movie?
Yeah, like how are they still casting this?
Yeah, don't they have to start filming it at some point?
It's so weird. I don't know. That was a disaster. So Ghostbusters, I'd say, is doing a much better job of the slowly releasing things and making me excited about them as opposed to releasing them and me going like, why are you doing this?
Let's be real. We were really more excited for Ghostbusters and Suicide Squad anyway. So we could technically be put into that category of people who are like, we don't want to see this anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's fair. I feel like with Suicide Squad, I think I have always been a little bit like questioning it, but it's not based on some like odd like attachment to, not even attached to the characters or anything more.
Yeah, that's true. It's just more of just like
what?
Whatever.
It is.
But speaking of something we are attached to,
yes,
you guys. So I knew they had to be filming soon because we knew it was coming out next year. So just recently, actually, I saw some pictures of them filming Daredevil, and we talked about how.
John Bernthal is playing.
Thank you. Wow.
Punisher.
I was like,
I did the same thing the other day. I was like, who is the Punisher?
Well, I almost said Corey Stoll.
No. If only.
I knew that was wrong. Anyway, so we knew he was coming, and so and they've been filming, and so we actually got word today that they cast Elektra. And remember, she kind of got name dropped in like one episode in last season, briefly. And so Elodie Young is playing Elektra.
Yeah.
I actually don't know anything about her, and then I did see G.I. Joe Retaliation.
That's the only thing I've seen, because she's French. She's French and Cambodian.
Yes.
Makes lots of French stuff.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Like, that is a great mix, French and Cambodian.
I was like, wow, gosh, his skin is like amazing.
Flawless. Yeah.
Gosh.
So she looks great.
She looks great. So I honestly don't have an opinion.
Yeah, not yet.
I'm like, she seems like she could be cool. I haven't seen her in enough things to be like, Elodie Young, like, bah. But I'm like, she could be really great.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it and just excited to see bits of more casting and things like that coming out of Daredevil, because I just can't wait for the second season.
For me, it's really more just like I already trust them so much. And like we do know that she can fight well because she was
in G.I. Joe.
She could do that in G.I. Joe. So we know she has at least that experience. And so I don't know, just the fact that I already trust this show enough, I'm like, they know what they're doing. Whatever, it'll be fine, you know?
Exactly.
And then I actually read a really cool article. They interviewed Charlie Cox's stuntman. And we're talking about Daredevil and the whole thing of how he even came to be on this, because he was like, he's been involved with martial arts like his whole life, and he kind of got recruited into being a stuntman.
Nice.
And so then they talked about that scene, you know, from episode 2, and he's like, you know, and he raves about Charlie Cox. He just thinks he's like the best thing since sliced bread.
Awesome.
And it's like, I think that's right, and I just think that's so adorable. I'm like, because I feel like stuntman, I'm like, they just don't ever get the spotlight, and this guy was just, it seemed cool, and he was just talking, he's like, same thing, like, you can tell he just trusts the guys that do Daredevil, and he's like, this show is so amazing, and it was interesting, I guess they had 2 days to rehearse that fight scene.
Wow.
They like came to them and were like, hey, we're gonna do this crazy fight scene like all in one shot, and they're like, okay, cool. And usually like for movies you have like months or weeks to like prepare, and they're like, we're gonna shoot it in 3 days. So they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, and they like got it, and I guess they did 12 takes, and on the
oh my gosh, they must have been exhausted.
They kept doing, they're like, okay, that one was good, it was not perfect, and then like they watched the 12th one back, they're like, yup, nailed it.
Oh my gosh.
You know? And I'm like, so
that's
cool.
Insane.
So it was cool. Anyway, that was a total side note, but
a great side note.
But a great side note. And so I'm just excited. And someone had posted some pictures, and it was like Matt Murdock on a corner with Foggy, and so it was like not super.
Doesn't tell you anything
interesting. I'm like, okay. They're like, ooh, images from Daredevil. I'm like, yes. I'm like, okay. This literally just looks like Charlie Cox is standing on a corner. You know? Because, like, a lot of the pictures were, like, of the back of his head, but Foggy was, like, talking to him. So I'm like, okay. Literally, they could have just been
this could be a
hanging out.
paparazzi photo.
Yeah. And it was, like, super dumb. I was like, okay, that was not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. So anyway, but it's coming.
It's coming. I'm so excited. And just on the thought of television and streaming and things like that, Hulu just got their Showtime thing. So they partnered up with Showtime, which I think everybody should do. This is the most brilliant thing on the planet. So, you know, with like HBO, you have to get HBO Go or HBO Now in order to watch their content, which means downloading another app. It means, you know, putting in your billing information all over again and stuff like that. Well, Hulu and Showtime, they paired up. It's an add-on. So it's $8.99 to add Showtime to your account, and you get all their shows, and then like apparently they're gonna live stream stuff too, so like sports and stuff like that you'll be able to see, and you don't have to add anything. So like I can watch it on my Roku and
through Hulu.
Yeah, through Hulu. So I didn't have to add billing information or anything like that. And the first month is free. So it was just like, I just clicked and it was like, all right, you have Showtime now. And so I was watching The Affair yesterday, and there's like all these things I want to watch. So I'm like, oh my God, it's at my fingertips. And I'm so excited about this because, you know, I'm doing a lot of like sitting around working all summer and reading, and I like to have background stuff. And so now I can like binge watch all the Showtime things. Like I can finally know what Homeland is after a million years.
Is that on Showtime?
Yeah, that's
I couldn't get into that show.
I've never seen it, so
people are like, people raved about it, and so my friend Joe was like, "Oh, I have it. Like, I'll end the first season." I was like, "Okay," and I watched the first couple, and I'm like,
didn't get into it, huh?
Yeah,
and
which is like weird because I love Claire Danes
like
and I love Damian Lewis. It's like, and what's her face is in it from Firefly, Marina Baccarin. Baccarin, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
She's in it. It's like all these people that you like.
Yeah.
You know, Mandy Patinkin is in it. So I don't know. And you know me, I love spy stuff. It's basically an entire movie about spies.
Sometimes it just doesn't hit. Like Firefly with me. I like everything about it. I just don't enjoy watching it. That's all.
So there you go.
Yeah, from what I've heard, like it goes downhill anyway. So it's probably for the best you didn't get into it and then get disappointed.
Oh, there you go.
But
because if you're gonna get disappointed, just don't start.
Right, exactly. But I do want to watch it, and so I've got that and Ray Donovan and The Affair and all these things to watch. And I'm stoked on that. So FYI, to those of you who are avid binge watchers, but like me don't have special channels, check it out. You can get Showtime through Hulu as of yesterday, and it's a delight. HBO, get on board. Stars, Cinemax, all you people. You should get on board. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, that's about all we got.
That's it. Although we do have an exciting announcement.
We do.
The Fancave Fiction Club is coming back to a computer near you. Woo. On July 17th at 6:30 p.m., we will be discussing all the light we cannot see. Tell your friends who are ready to come and join us. Follow us on Goodreads if you want to prepare for the next session. Put on hold your extra copy of the shoot, that went well.
It was going so well. I was like, wow, laddie, you're doing a great job with this.
I know. Our next book we're going to read is The Martian, so you probably want to put it on hold now. Mm-hmm. My friend actually just bought it, and he's going to Guatemala for like 4 weeks, and I'm like, read that book while you're there, because when you come back, I want to talk about it.
There we go. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about this. Yeah, recruit all your friends who've read it, because everybody's read All the Light We Cannot See, so we'll have a big conversation about it.
Yes, I'm very excited for this conversation. I know Melanie Ray is going to be very excited about it.
Yes, so that's the 17th, 6:30, a Friday night. Spend your Friday with us, 6:30 Pacific time.
9:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Eastern.
And we will attempt to Google Hangout. It always is a cluster, so just bear with us until we get it figured out.
Yeah, just when I think I've figured it out, it always
foils
finds some other way to foil us. But hopefully it'll work, and everything will be great, and we'll have a nice conversation. We keep our eye on the YouTube this time, so we don't end up with, like, poor Noel last time, who was, like, talking to the void. Still feel bad about that.
That's okay.
Still very much do. Anyways, so this has been episode 69 of the Electric Fan Cave on electricfeast.com, and we've had a wonderful time hanging out with you guys. Make sure that you follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud, the Twitters, the Facebook, Electric Fan Cave on all the things. We love to hear from you, and don't forget to rate and review us. if you like us, so that more people can find out about us, and share. If you enjoy an episode, if you enjoy all the episodes, whatever, share it. Send it to your friends. This is how other people hear of us, and we can entertain more folks, or more folks can get mad at our inconsistency, or whatever the case may be. But yeah,
or our non-fact checking.
Yeah. Rate, review, and share the Fan Cave. That's all we're saying. It'll be a big help to us. We love you. Be kind to each other. For this week, I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And I'm Kristen Latterell.
Peace out, everybody.
Take it easy, kids.
You're swell. I had a dream that Justin lost my my debit card in the ocean. It was like we were all at a party at the ocean.
Yeah, because you go to the ocean so often.
I know. I was like, it's unreasonable. That's half the stress in and of itself. I'm like, I'm at the ocean and now I've lost another debit card.
Why did he have my debit card? Wait, Justin from Dirty Nellies?
Yeah, from Dirty Nellies. It was like the whole Dirty Nellies crew was there, and I was like, somehow Justin lost my debit card.
It's like literally all of the people who like to be inside